Okay, welcome. I'm going to show you how to take your 5x5 template and slabs and create your 5x5 box. Alright, so you start out with a slab and you want to make sure that your slabs are a little bit thicker, so 2 sticks on either side, so about this thickness. I've already pre-rolled these out. So then you want to smooth out your slabs: vertical, horizontal, diagonal, diagonal, and flip. Do the repeat: vertical, horizontal, diagonal, and oops, look at that, look at that. That's okay. Look how smooth that is. The reason why we do this is to prevent cracking later on. I've already smoothed out my other slabs, so I won't have to share that with you. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is take your slabs. Actually, we'll work with one at a time. I'm getting ahead. I'm getting really excited here. All right, and you're going to put the template down, and then you're going to want to take a pencil. This works with a needle tool too, and you just want to lightly draw where this meets. Okay, like that. All right. Okay. Then I would go ahead and, you know what, just cut this straight across like so, and then set that slab aside. And then take another slab, and really I cut without a ruler, but you should really use a ruler to make sure that the line is straight. Okay. Alright, so actually pretend like I didn't do that. Okay, so then we have these 2 slabs like this, okay? Then, so you're going to need a fork, scoring tool, and your rib, and then of course a rolling pin and some water. Okay, so you're going to want to score where you're going to attach these 2 slabs. I score horizontally, then, and you want to score towards the majority of the slab. You don't want to score this way, because then the slab comes out in the direction that you don't want it to. And you could, I would score maybe about like 2 inches. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of water, maybe a little bit more water. Okay, then I'm going to take, and you're going to put the score to the score, and you're going to overlap just a little bit. Then I take the palm of my hand and press this down. Then I'm going to take my rolling pin, and then you don't want this to get too thin, so take your double sticks. These are just painter sticks, and put them on either side, so that way you don't make this too thin. And you just want to get rid of this hump. Okay, then you want to take this slab and you're going to flip it. You see that right there? That's fine. And then I'm just going to cut this clean. Okay. And roll that together. Okay. Then take your rib. We're using a Staples credit card. And you're going to blend these 2 slabs together. Notice that hump is disappearing. Okay. Then you want to flip it and butter that together. If there's still a hump, take your rolling pin and just lightly roll over it. but the end result is that there should be no hump. It looks like it's completely together. Okay, now we're ready to do it again on the sides. So you see here, ooh, look at that. So it barely fits, so that's okay. So we're gonna add some more at the top. All right, so I'm gonna take this leftover slab, okay, and I'm gonna give it a clean cut up here. Make sure you score really, really well. A little water. Okay. Then you're putting the score side to the score side, overlap it a little bit, and then you're going to take the palm of your hand and press down, marrying these two pieces of clay. And the more that you press down, the better, because it kind of gets rid of that hump for you. Okay? Then I'm just going to cut some of this off the side. Your sticks on either side, so that way you don't roll out too much. Flip it. Take your rib and marry these two pieces of clay together. Okay, I'm going to flip it again. And get rid of that crack. This crack is whack. Crack is whack. Okay, then let's see. Okay, yeah, baby, it fits. Alrighty, moving on. I'm going to take another slab and I'm going to cut just to clean it up. I could actually like just use one. Nah, I'd use two. Take my fork. If you have a scoring tool, that works too. I would just rather spend money on clay and glazes than on tools that, you know, you can just go to the thrift store and buy. Okay, take a little bit of water. Alright, then score to score, overlap, press it down. I gently roll over it just a little. I'm going to take my rib, that together, marrying the two. Okay, now this gets a little tricky. Just going to flip it. Okay, smooth that crack out. This crack is whack. It really is. I mean, I've never tried it, and I don't recommend anybody trying it because I hear that that illegal substance is very addictive. All right, so there we go. There we go. We just need to add a little bit more here. So I got my last slab. Let me trim up, trim action. Okay, and I'm going to score. I'm going kind of fast because I want to give you time to work. Score. A little bit of water. You can use slip too, but I like just to use water. Okay, that. Just lightly roll over. Okay. Then when clay gets on your rib, you could just scrape it off like that. Okay. And we're going to butter this, marrying the two pieces of clay. If there's a hump, you can scrape it off. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to get smarter when I flip this. I'm going to take some extra newspaper. Extra newspaper and place it on top here. And pick all of it up and flip. And then if you've got a wet piece of newspaper, you can throw that away. So the artist, the best artists are the artists with the most tricks. We're going to smooth out these cracks. Okay, looking good, looking good, looking good. All right, now we're ready. Okay, so you're going to take this template. Yeah. Now, I recommend drawing a line like this, so that way you're not cutting it right away. After you do a bunch of these, and you say like, well, how many? I don't know, like 100. After you do about 100 of them, you kind of like don't need to do this step. You can just go straight to cutting. But if I were making this for the first time, I would do like that. Okay, so we have the 5x5 template. There's also a tutorial of how to make a 5x5 template on my YouTube channel. All right, then you're going to take a stick, clean your knife off, line it up, and I'm going to cut. Okay, and you want to cut away from the slab in case you mess up. If you were doing it like this and you mess up, then you've messed up your actual slab that you're going to use. So you want to cut to where if you jack it up, it doesn't matter. Okay, look at that, and then I'm going to remove that. Nice clean cut. And I like doing this. I like to cut, and then I come down here and I cut, but I stop right here. So you got to be mindful of what you're doing, because if you're not paying attention, then you're going to cut the whole thing. Then I come up here and I do this, cut. And you know what I do? That I remove this clay. I would highly recommend keeping this clay in place, because when you cut, you see here how this corner is like it's kind of moved it, but when you keep the clay together, it tends to not do that. And you can see that right there, it doesn't happen as much. Alright, now if you're like, you know what, this feels really weird to be cutting this, you could, instead of picking up the clay, you could move the newspaper to where it's easier for you to cut. I just get lazy and have taught myself to cut at weird angles, because I get lazy and don't want to move the paper, which is really silly because it's like not that big a deal. Just being transparent. Alright, there we go. And there's your 5x5 template in action. So here you go. Alright, then the next step, I'm going to do a separate video on that.